The iPad is now better than the MacBook. Okay, that might be a little bit of a stretch, not gonna lie, but if I'm being completely frank and honest here, I would say that Apple really did improve the iPad in ways that put it a lot closer to the Mac. So in this video, I'm gonna go over some of the features that I found very useful for people like me that are content creators, or if you use your iPad for productivity. Let's start with multitasking. With iPadOS 26, Apple launched a new windowed system. Apple pretty much got rid of split view and slide over and replaced it with something better. iPadOS 26 allows you to open a lot more windows at once, and you can really fine tune and refine it to your preference. So with my finger, I can easily slide and minimize multiple windows to make the most use of my screen. And that really does have some improvements to my functionality. This is handy for when I use the iPad for script writing and need multiple Safari windows open for references. But what makes it more intuitive and Mac-like is the ability to use the stoplight icons at the top and really minimize your screen. But something that I don't know if a lot of people know is that you do have the ability to press and hold the green button, and that will give you some predetermined window options. So you can press and hold the button and immediately you'll be given options to snap your app to the side. But what I really like as well is the ability to literally just flick the icon from one side of the screen to the other and it'll snap there. And that again saves you a lot of time when trying to figure out the best way to maximize your screen. Now, before we get deeper into iPadOS 6, I just want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Moth. Honestly, none of these features would be nearly as useful without a good setup. For over a month, I've been using the Moth Dynamic Folio. This folio is ultralight, super thin, and designed to turn your iPad into a true floating workspace. Basically become part of my iPad at this point. But it props your iPad up into a bunch of different modes, and with iPadOS's new floating window system, that's a game changer. One mode that I also find incredibly useful is dual screen mode, and it's particularly useful when I'm using Stage Manager to script videos and have a reference tab open, or perhaps if I'm drawing in Procreate and using my iPhone to see what I'm drawing. It makes everything so much easier. When I'm reviewing exports or previewing PDF files with annotations, I pop it into float theater mode. It's like having a mini desktop, and it's way easier on the neck than laying the iPad flat. Fun fact, while I'm filming this, I actually have my iPad in theater mode, running my Sony monitor app and reviewing bullet points all from the same folio. And when I'm managing files from an external SSD, especially now that the Files app lets me resize columns, I can tilt the iPad upright in portrait mode. The folio also has a magnetic Apple Pencil holder on the back. It's subtle, does not interfere with charging, and it keeps my desk clean. So if you're trying to squeeze more out of your iPad with iPadOS 26, the Moth Float Folio is kind of a no-brainer. Check out the link in the description down below, and big shout out to Moth for sponsoring this video. Now going back to multitasking, I think Apple really knocked it out of the park with background apps. And this is not something that's new. You can do a lot of tasks in the background, but again, because of the windowed app, you're easily able to go back and check on the progress of things that you're doing. So for example, if I'm exporting a bunch of photos at once, I can leave the Lightroom app and go to another app and open it, read the news maybe, and then in the background, it's still working and I can actually visually see that it's still doing those tasks. Again, before, there was a little bit of a blockage, so you couldn't necessarily see the updates of your tasks. It's very handy for content creators if you're doing something like transferring a lot of your photos and videos, or perhaps your animations that you just drew and you want to save it on the cloud. You're able to do it a lot more efficiently. Speaking of moving files, Apple also revamped the Files app in a major way. There's a new list view which I love on my MacBook and allows you to get more details of content without needing to open it. I found it very useful to color code and customize my folders so I'm easily able to identify. So a good tip that I found useful was to put a camera emoji on the folder that I use to deal with cameras and photos. A really neat trick that I found very useful over the last 30 days was being able to drag folders into the dock on my iPad, which means I don't need to click a billion different things simply just to open a folder that I'm gonna need access to. Another tip, I would highly recommend you to add the iCloud downloads folder to your dock as well, meaning that anything that you download on your MacBook, you can also easily see on your iPad. And again, it makes the integration a lot more seamless. A small thing that I'd say that I really love a lot is being able to easily slide my columns and see the full name of a file whenever I need access to it. You can sort it by date, name, and all that jazz right in the app itself, which again makes it easier for you to organize your files and content. Last but not least is something that I want to touch on is Preview. And honestly, I'm a fan of Preview on the Mac. I use it when I don't need to do things like in a full-fledged way, because admittedly, it's not that great as Adobe, but I like it because it's bare bones and kind of what you need. And on the iPad, it works in a very similar manner. I'm able to use Preview to mark up documents, rotate pictures, do a lot of different things on my iPad natively. But one thing that you might not know is that when you edit files in the Preview app on your iPad, automatically it's gonna sync with your MacBook and other devices. So that means that if you write a note on one file, you don't have to write it again on your Mac. It's just gonna sync and save across all of your systems. That's super useful. But yeah, over the last 30 days, I found the iPad a lot more useful. I was about to sell it, but I'm not anymore. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.